What's going on Instagram? What's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube? It's your friend Michael Clark, also known as Michael Helps. And this is Coffee with Clark, or Help What Helps. So today I'm going to talk about some of the stuff I've been learning over the last 22 months. Maybe it's been 23. Maybe it's been 2 years. I don't know. I don't keep count. I just know that I'm getting it, right? So I guess I'm going to start, like I said, sharing with you the knowledge that I've accumulated over the past little bit of time. And, it goes something like this, right? To, whether you're trying to start a business flipping real estate, houses, etc., whether you're trying to start a business in general, maybe doing renovations, maybe doing masonry, maybe doing drywall, maybe etc., right? A lot of people have misconstrued that, you need money to make money, right? Like that's a poor mindset, right? See, if somebody says, "Oh, well, you can do this," and then you respond to that person, "Oh, well, you need money to make money." Well, that person is uneducated on financial literacy, right? Which I am kind of too, right? But to help with that, I actually am doing financial literacy courses starting tomorrow at 7, which I was doing before. However, then they pitched him to buy insurance, and I was like, yeah. So, there's 3 parts of this triangle, right? Money, people, deal, right? So now when you're investing in real estate, you either got 2 things. You either have time or you have money. Now, I highly recommend that whether you got money or time, that you use time. Because if you have money to invest, like if you start out with money, if you have a nest egg of money that you can use to invest, you're going to skip the deal part, which is I've heard is the hardest part to me. It's the easiest part because I guess maybe because I enjoy doing it, maybe because I've worked on it in my own way through different times in my life, right? So, now if you're a person that has time, right, and let's say you don't have time, make time, right? Like, I just finished I just finished work. I finished work at 4, and I've already been to Home Depot to get a credit card. I've been here to get into some notebooks for the courses tomorrow. I did a bit of looking for deals, and then now I'm gonna call and set up this stuff with the credit card and pay my credit card bill, clean, right? So you can always make time to do these things, right? Whether it's waking up early, more early than what you are to fit in some studying, some exercise, right? All that stuff, or whatever. Now, the second thing that I suggest is that whatever it is that you want to do, know that if somebody else can do it, you can also do it. Like, and there's nothing that's going to hold you back, right? Like, what, poor credit? No. Criminal record? No. Whatever excuses that somebody will plant into your mind that makes you think that you can't do it or you can't achieve a higher level of greatness on a daily basis, 0.5% better than you were the day before, which, don't ever compare yourself to anybody except for who you were the day before, right? Because if you, like me, if I go comparing myself to Grant Cardone, I'm going to be like, oh, I don't have $1 billion real estate portfolio, right? That's not fit, right? That's not the thing to do. You want to compare yourself to you the day before, the year before, however it works, right? Also, you want to write down some goals. Make them achievable, make them SMART goals, and figure out your why, right? Like why you're going to be doing this. So I'm saying all that time. So find somebody that's doing that what you want to do already, right? Somebody that's successful in it, right? And then find out how you can be valuable to them. What value? Always lead with value. If you don't got money, you got time, lead with value. Okay, so hey, you're a fruitful investor. Okay, so then you probably don't have a bunch of time because you're managing projects, you're managing your portfolio, you're managing people, right? So when I say money, people, deal, people is like people that do construction renovations, right? Which is also another challenging part of the triangle, the trifecta, because a lot of construction workers and a lot of people that do renovations, they're fact, right? So anyway, so you find somebody that's already doing what you want to do, and then you make yourself valuable to them for them to share their knowledge with you. Plant knowledge, seeds of wisdom inside their wisdom, your knowledge, right? So, an example is myself, right? I didn't even know what, like, I had no idea, right? Like, I always knew I wanted to have rental properties. That's all I knew, right? Then one day, I've said this story before. I was in Aunt Amber's house. She walked in. The story went on. She's like, "You can do this too." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I ended up in London from Kitchener. I messaged her. She said, "Talk to these 10 people." Matt Gears responded, and here I am today. So what I did was, Matt didn't have time. Like, he had a couple projects on the go, so he doesn't have time to go out and door knock. So he said, "Hey, give me some leads and I'll teach you," right? So I was looking for leads and I couldn't find, I was like, "Oh," and he's like, "Well, what he did was door knock." I'm like, "Okay," so I door knocked, all right? So that's how I got started. But like I was saying, someone told me the deal aspect of the trifecta is the hardest part. So now you're going to want to find out how to find deals. And that doesn't mean scrolling the MLS. Yeah, sure, there's like potential on the MLS, sure, right? But I don't know, I've heard it's hard. I've never used the MLS, right? So I don't know what that's like, right? When you're looking for deals, you want to keep in mind that you're going to knock on 2,000 doors before you find one lead that closes, right? In 2,000 doors, you may find 80 leads. None of those might not be a deal. Some of those might be somebody that want top dollar for their rundown house because their neighbor renovated and sold their house and got top dollar, and they think, "Oh, well, if he got it," right? Like, because that's what happens with a lot of people these days, right? Always, when you get to a higher level and you're looking to, get a deal where you can put money into it and et cetera, like, know when you're talking to the homeowner, okay, they have to keep taking into consideration however much their renovation is going to cost, and then you have to make money, all right? So, and then remember, you're trying to provide a service. Your job is to help people. You're helping people. End of the day, the more people you can help, the better off you'll be, hands down, right? So 2,000 doors. Expect that's how you'll find your first deal, right? Be ready to knock on 2,000 doors, and stay persistent. Persistence is key. Don't give up. It's gonna take a while, and you can ask some of my friends in the network. I'm 81 leads deep. I one closed and we're renovating it, and I'm like, "Oh, right," and I kept going and kept going and kept going, and then bam, 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 right? So. And like I always say, like, you can do this, right? Like, if I can do it, you can do it, right? So knocking on doors, that's one great way. Cold calling, that's another great way. Dan Penna, he said, if you make 2,000 phone calls in whatever you're trying to do, you'll be successful by the end of 2,000 calls. Pick up the phone, call random people. I also messaged people on Facebook. Message all these people. Hey, you heard anybody selling their house? I specialize in, if somebody's going through a divorce, they don't want their house anymore. That's what we specialize in buying. And, if somebody's unfortunately gone through a family member passing away or a friend passing away, and they've inherited a house and they can't afford it, well, we can help them in that situation. Somebody's about to lose their house to the bank because they stopped working and they didn't realize they got to remortgage and refinance or whatever that's called in 5 years, right? And I just let a bunch of people know that, right? And, that's how I got one of my leads that closed, actually. And two of them, yeah, and like anybody you talk to, anybody that you know, any friend you have, any whatever it is, let them know, "Hey, I'm looking to buy a house," right? They're going to say, "Oh, this one down the street, so listen." Be like, "No, I don't want to buy it through the realtor. I want to buy it directly from the owner. I would like to buy a house direct," right? So that's another strategy. Another one is you can do flyers, right? Flyers has worked for people. It's worked for me before too. Actually, that was the first one I found. But literally, like, you can just walk up to anybody, anywhere. Just walk up to them and start a conversation. Look at their shoes. Oh man, notice, say their shoes are Puma. Like, "Oh man, you like Puma, man? Oh, I'm about to go buy a pair of shoes, man. What kind do you think I should get?" They'll probably come up and say, "Hey, Puma, I got this pair of Puma shoes," right? So there you go. Now you've started a conversation, right? And then just keep feeding off it, right? Feeding off it, right? You're going to be able to tell when somebody's not interested in talking to you because they're going through it, right? They're depressed, they're mad, they're fighting with their girlfriend, whatever the case is, right? You'll be able to sense that energy off them, right? Well, I can. I don't know about everybody, but I definitely can. So, so now, if you're just doing that, if you're not door knocking, if you're not cold calling, if you're not putting flyers out, go up to, expect to talk to 1,000 people. You talk to 1,000 people, you'll find a deal that closes, right? I used to literally sit in Tim Hortons in the wintertime because my shoes had holes in them and then my feet were so cold. I'd sit in Tim Hortons and everybody that walked in the door was like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Michael. I have a tattoo on my face and I look like somebody who would never be able to buy a house, but guess what? I'm looking to buy your house off you, and guess what? I could probably close quick and everything would be nice." Right? And so all these little things, like, you just literally, like, you just got to do it, right? And then, like, ask yourself, why not? If you say anything except for you don't want to, that's an excuse. And excuses only work on excuse makers. And, right? So, the realtor get pissed if you knock on the doors and talk to the seller without them. Oh, yeah. It seems like a personal problem. Anyway, so yeah, I guess now we're gonna go to the part of my show here where I talk a bunch of nonsense about my day and have a good time with myself here. So since the last time I went live, what's been happening? Bought some houses, sold some houses maybe. I don't know. Learned how to raise money. Learned that you can buy houses without a down payment. Did some side jobs. See my kids. Read some books. Finished reading some books. Started reading some new books. Realized that J.C. Vandeman, his other half there, I understand why they want me to listen to the next 5 moves on Audible there. What has it start off there? It starts off like oh, I became a cocky salesman. I'm like, what are you guys trying to say here? Which I understand, I did, when you do something commission based and you close deals, be careful. It happened to me. You can all of a sudden be like, I'm the best ever. Oh, I'm the best. Right? Like, and you get real cocky and arrogant and yada, 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 right? But I've had a couple humbling experiences, so can't forget where I come from, right? What else? Yeah, man, just been getting some quotes, been talking, did some cold calling, been following up on some stuff. How did I buy a house without a down payment? I found a deal with so much equity in it that you go to anybody and say, "Hey, I need you to put a mortgage in first position on my house," and then I get it appraised, and it appraised at $30K more than what I'm paying for it. So then the person selling the house, or sorry, the company that lent me the money, or the person that lent me the money to buy the house, they know that if I close on the 17th and I listen on the 18th, I'm gonna, no matter what, you can't lose, right? Right. So much equity in the deal that you don't need a down payment, right? And not only that, but I didn't go to an A lender or a B lender or a C lender. Private money, right? And if you accumulate trust in your network, then you can get that, right? So yeah, that's how that happened. There's a bunch of stuff that happened and a bunch of good. I'm just out here having a good time like always, right? So just I always, like I said, I've been doing this from day one. Like, just out here trying to inspire people. Just out here trying to move over. Banks want 20% down for you. That's the bank, man. Don't go to the bank then, bro. The bank, that's the bank. Okay, so, and here's another situation. Okay, so here's another thing, okay? I borrowed the private money at 6%, right? So, hey, Mr. And actually, you know what? Shout outs to Jared Coyne. He's a mortgage broker. He got my money for 6%. So now, I borrowed that money at 6%, right? All right. Through creative deals in real estate and creative financing and creative strategies, I got a first position purchase price of $200K, right? I paid $275 for the duplex. The $75K is held in second position by the homeowner, right? It's called a vendor take-back mortgage. What that means is if I don't pay, they just take their back, right? Or if I'm forced to sell, they get paid out in second position. The hard money gets paid out first, right? So that's at 6%. Then I need a renovation money, right? And us investors, we don't want to use no money we don't want to use our money, right? OPM, other people's money, right? So in my vendor take back clause, I arranged that the homeowner lends me the money back to me to do the renovations, right? Right. So once I got the top floor renovated, I rent it out. Then I live in the bottom place. I rent out the other room or list it on Airbnb. I might even rent the top floor out on Airbnb. I don't know yet. I'm not I'm thinking far ahead, but we'll see what works, what ends up working, right? The banks like seeing a long-term tenant in there. However, long-term tenants these days are, right? Everybody's going to short-term, right? Airbnb, right? So if if I can get a GCD over there, if he wants to do his arbitrage deal Airbnb thing, okay, and it makes sense, then I negotiated the deal. It's a private deal, bro. I negotiated the deal. No realtors at all. No realtors. It's a private deal I bought directly from the homeowner. So, and let's say, so he wants to Airbnb re-rent off me. So then his company, his corporation can rent it off me for X amount of dollars, then him re-rent it. The bank won't mind that, right? Because it looks like there's a long-term tenant in there. And then, it was me, bro. It was me. I'm not a pro. I'm still learning, man. Stop. So, sorry, this guy's throwing me off. So now, I have the top rented out. Then I have my other room listed on Airbnb, and then days that my daughter's coming, I can block that weekend off for her to stay in, change her bedding, put her cool bedding on there, and put her posters up, yada, 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 right? So now, the upstairs pays the utilities, pays the mortgage, the money I borrowed at 6%, plus legal. And I think $100 in my pocket. Then whatever this room rents for, which I've seen rooms go for $900 a month, right, through Airbnb. That's in my pocket, right? And like that, the vacancy rate is they're only working. They're only during the day, or they only work during the week. They're renting, right? So the weekends are off, regardless. So now, as this is happening, this is where another money part of the trifecta comes in, right? I had bad credit. Right? And, it's getting better, but so now I had to put $75K or $75 down on a Capital One secured credit card. I got that. I use it, I go home, I pay it. I use it, I go home, I pay it. I use it, I go home, I pay it, right? Then I got Equifax to check my credit score and credit rating. Then they start saying, hey, you can qualify for this and qualify. So then, okay, bam, I qualify for another credit card. Now I got two. Do the same thing to build my credit score, right? I already make enough money through my job where I got T4 income, right? Which lenders, they would rather see T4 income 3 to 6 months worth rather than your own business. Because your own business, they're going to want to see 2 to 5 years before you qualify for lender mortgages, right? Right. So, by the time my renovations are done, by the time it's rented out, by the time it's cash when everything's going nice, then I go to an lender and I refinance. So this is another strategy where I don't need any money down, right? But that new mortgage that the lender bank lends me, I pay out my private money, my VTB, my renovations. Hopefully, put a check in my pocket. Even if I put $1,000 check in my pocket, I don't care. But now I'm at a lower interest rate, right? Instead of paying 6% interest on my money, I'm paying 1.5, 2. Even if I pay 3, whatever, it's still better, right? Which is a smaller mortgage payment, which is more cash flow, and that's called the BRRRR strategy. But now, the BRRRR strategy, you have to buy right. Buy right, always. You don't want to go on the MLS and get into a bidding war with somebody and get emotional about a deal and pay $100K over asking. You know why? Because then there's no meat on the bone for you to eat, right? You got to eat. Your family got to eat. Your friends got to eat. Your people got to eat. You got to put food on the table for people, right? And yourself, of course, because if you don't help yourself, you can't help others. End of the day, right? So now once I refinance out of the private money I got there, right? everything's going smooth, you know. Of course, there's gonna be bumps and blips in the road. I guarantee there is. It wouldn't be fun if there wasn't, right? But like, yeah, you know, with me, I've been inside so many. I've been inside so many bad places. It's hard to fail, right? Like, and plus, I look at everything as win or learn. Win or learn. No losing. No L's ever. Win or learn, right? So it's a little brief BRRRR strategy. Finding deals, right? I mean, what? There's 6 D's and an A to find a deal: death, debt, divorce, disgruntled landlord, distressed property, destruction, and addiction. Tune in next time for some more.